Winter can be one of the worst times for a contractor because you are bleeding money. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys the most profitable things you can do to cover your overhead in the winter and even profit. Dylan, I'm 21 years old and my landscaping company did over $500,000 in revenue this summer. And now come winter, I've got a bunch of overhead from my truck, trailers, payments, etc. that I have to cover now in the winter. So I need more work, I need income, and I'm going to be showing you guys today how I'm covering those payments during the winter and how to keep yourself busy as a contractor in the cold months. I'm going to be showing you guys the best hustles I do, most profitable ones, how to charge for them, and where to find the leads. Without further ado, if that sounds like you, let's just jump right in. I would appreciate a like, comment, subscribe, all that if you find value, but let me give you some value first before I ask for anything. A couple main hustles in the winter. If it doesn't snow a lot in your area, I would say you continue to do your landscaping, do your outdoor work year round, because that's going to be the most profitable. That's what you're set up for. But for me, I live in Canada. It's snowing like 5 days out of the week. So unfortunately, landscaping is no longer an option. However, there are a few options that keep the money coming in. The first one would be junk removal. If you have a trailer from landscaping in the summer or doing any sort of work in the summer, you use that trailer and you go to people, you hit up all your contacts from the summer and you say, hey, we're just trying to keep the crews busy. We really appreciated the project you gave us this year. It would really help us out if you had, any sort of work to keep us busy this winter. We'll get into the other stuff, but let's just focus on junk. You pitch them, you say, hey, if you have anything lying around your house, you got extra garbage bags, you got a basement you haven't cleared out, you're kind of hoarding some objects, we got you. We got a dump trailer. You can also rent a trailer, but you will need a trailer or at least a truck for this hustle. I can't spell trailer, there you go. You're gonna hit up your old contact list. You're gonna pitch the service to them. Old contacts, right, from the summer, from your main hustle. If you don't have a main hustle in the summer and you're just starting your business in the winter, that's okay. Other ways I would recommend getting clients would be Facebook ads if you have some money to spend, because it's an interruptive form of marketing, right? Not everyone's going out there looking for a junk removal company. It's kind of out of the way. It's one of those things that when you're hit with the marketing of it, you're kind of like, yeah, like that could be useful, but you're not going out of your way to look for it per se. So Facebook ads are perfect for this kind of thing. Yard signs work great too in high traffic residential areas. And then I'd also recommend, in addition to these methods, using a community group like Nextdoor, right? Those kind of apps. Share your name around. If you're just starting your business, position it as you're a small business owner, just trying to make it through the winter. Kind of make it personal, make it a bit emotional, and people will be way more willing to help you out. I know this from experience. If you go marketing like you're some huge junk removal company or whatever, people are kind of scared off by that if you don't have the testimonials and the proof and the equipment to back it up. Rather, you want to position yourself as someone who's trying to make it through the winter, someone who's willing to work hard, someone who does good work, and if they have, anything that you can help them out with, you're available. And people are a lot more receptive to that. So I'll add a little note for you guys, because I know you're not taking notes, which you should be, but I'll add a little note: emotional pitch. All right, emotional pitch. You wanna, if you're a single father and you got a kid and you're just trying to feed your kid and make it through the winter, those kind of posts, I've seen them on Facebook. I see them all the time. It's like, hey, I'm a single father, I work, contract and handyman work, a little slow this winter. If anyone's got anything for me, it would really help me out. I'll give you a good price, that kind of thing. Those ads hit all the time. So first hustle, junk removal. I do it. I've got proof. It's on my Instagram. I do it all the time in the winter. In addition to moving, we'll kind of lump junk removal and moving into one category. I'll help people move couches, furniture, transport it across the city with my truck and trailer. That's basically all you need for this hustle: truck and trailer. In terms of pricing, the way I do it, I have a relatively small dump trailer, 6x12 with low walls. So I'm not charging outrageous prices for this kind of thing. I charge around 150 to 200 bucks for a trailer full of junk, including my labor to load it up, depending on what it is. And then to take it to the dump and dispose of it, I'll charge them the dump fee, whatever the dump charges. So at the end of the day, I'll make like 200 bucks for maybe 4 or 5 hours of work, minus gas or whatever. So it's decent. It's not like we're making millions here, but that's not what we're trying to do. In the winter, we're trying to survive the winter, maybe even profit a little bit to set ourselves up for next year, but we just don't want to go into our next landscaping season in debt, right? So that's kind of the objective of junk removal. So the next hustle I'm gonna put you guys on, which you've probably seen before. This one's kind of blowing up like on TikTok and all that. Christmas lights. Yay. I'll put this shit in red because it's Christmas, y'all. Christmas is coming up. You gotta get in the holiday spirit. Christmas lights, boom. All right, this can be the most profitable thing you do all year. I know plenty of people who make 6 figures in profit from Christmas lights, okay? People hit me up on Instagram all the time telling me they're doing these crazy numbers with Christmas lights. I've seen it firsthand. I've also seen people just recently on jobs who are doing out in the country, putting up yard signs for Christmas lights. These big houses, man, they're doing thousands of dollars in permanent, high quality lighting that you can be taking advantage of, that I will be taking advantage of. It's getting late in the season for this, but permanent lighting is always a thing. You don't have to pitch it as Christmas lights. You can pitch it as permanent decorative lighting. High quality bulbs, okay? You don't want to be getting dollar store crap. You want to be getting high quality bulbs. You know those ones that like almost fit in the palm of your hand? They're like, I'll put a picture on screen, like high quality stuff. That's what you want to be selling to these big properties, right? I wouldn't go for small residential places because your labor to get up on the roof, to cover your insurance and everything, to cover your equipment isn't going to be worth it as much. I would go for the detached houses, a little bit bigger, looking for a high quality product, because those are the houses you can charge between $1,500 and $4,000 plus for, okay? You can get some big properties, you could wrap the whole thing in lights. You can charge to install them and take them down next year. You can charge to rent the lights. You can charge them a material fee to keep the lights, right? You can mark up the material and they can keep it. There's a whole bunch of ways to do this business model. I really like the recurring revenue of taking them up and taking them down at the beginning and end of Christmas, but permanent lighting is great too. There's a huge industry for this, guys, huge industry. It's always necessary, especially as bulbs burn out and that sort of thing, and you need to switch them out and update the lighting. If you sell a high quality product, and I'll tell you the best way to sell this, you go door to door with a sample of a high quality light in your hand, and you just tell the lead, the prospective client, you just give them the sample and they hold it in their hand and they feel the quality of what you're selling rather than just some like dollar store product. They'll be sold right there. And then you bring your iPad, you do a little mock-up for them, you draw their house. One guy showed me a program where, bro, this is a beautiful house. Look at this, guys. Wow. I graduated art school. So we got this house, right? There's programs where you can draw on the Christmas lights and kind of mock it up for them, show them what it would look like, show them the sample, and then it's tangible. They can feel it. They can essentially feel what your service is going to be like, and they're sold right then and there. You sell it for maybe 10 bucks a linear foot, right, including the material, and you will be golden. But Christmas lights is one of the biggest industries that you can get into in the winter other than snow removal. Christmas lights is huge. Your only expenses are going to be the lights, which in all things considered are pretty cheap, and your labor, your harness, ladder, whatever to get on the roof, right? But once you get good and you can bang out a job in 3-4 hours, you hit 3 houses a day, you can be making really good money from Christmas lights. So if there was any one to consider, I would say it's Christmas lights, but it's getting late in the season for that. Sorry, I made this video late. You guys need to subscribe and get up and remind me to get on that next year. I'll make another video for you. Next thing we're gonna get into, still in and around the house, is indoor renos, okay? If you have any sort of skill from your landscaping or whatever you do in the summer, if you have any sort of skill that you can transfer right? Maybe you do decks and you know a bit of carpentry. You go indoors, you do some framing, right? You go indoors, you do some cabinet work. I don't know, some finishing, some trim, right? So indoor renos are always busy. People are always doing bathrooms, kitchens, cupboards, you know, basements, that sort of thing. Finishing basements, that's a good one. Pop some insulation in, right? Pop some drywall in, a little bit of framing, no problem. You can be making good money. So the real question becomes, how do you sell this kind of thing in the winter? And the answer is, you give a winter promo, right? Like, you tell them straight up, kind of like we were talking about in with junk removal. You tell them straight up, you're like, hey, in order to keep our crews busy, right? We're offering a promo on kitchens this month, or we're offering a promo on bathrooms this month, just to keep our crews busy, right? We'll give you a bit of a deal as opposed to doing it in the summer, and that does attract a lot of people. I did that for interlock, for landscaping, for my business towards the end of the year. I said, hey, to keep the crews busy, we're doing like 10% off. And I got an influx of leads towards the end of the season. It's November 24th as I'm recording this. We still got a project next week, right? And there's snow on the ground. So like, I'm busy, I'm booked into next year. And I'm still getting leads. So the end of season promos do work. You guys need to think about, how do you differentiate yourself from the next guy, right? Because there's going to be other people advertising Christmas lights. There's going to be other people advertising junk removal and indoor renos. How do you stand out? You got to make yourself different. End of season promo, workmanship warranty, you know, show up on time, budget guarantee, satisfaction guarantee, whatever. You just got to be thinking how you differentiate yourself so you can get the homeowner's contact information so that you have permission to submit a bid on their project. But if you're not getting any leads, none of this matters, right? So you got to be thinking about, how can I get people's contact information? How can I even get the quote, right? And in order to do that in the winter, when everything's slowing down, you offer an incentive. So, sorry guys, I was yapping so much I wasn't even taking notes for you guys. Winter incentive, okay? That could be a discount, or it doesn't even have to be just like cheaper. It could be, we're gonna go an extra mile for you. You're gonna get like this quality countertop instead of our usual, you know, quality. You'll get this free when you buy this, you know? It doesn't have to be just a straight discount. It can be something extra, something better, something more, okay? So how do you get leads for this? Like I said, winter promo, I would go community groups, right? On Facebook and Nextdoor, community Facebook and Nextdoor. This is a really good spot to get people in your neighborhood. You can run Facebook ads too, right? Facebook, Google. I wouldn't do Google as much in the winter because most people just aren't searching for this kind of thing in the winter. So I would do more interruptive marketing, right? Like we talked about with junk removal. So that would be Facebook. And then other than that, I think those are probably your best bets for indoor renos, other than, and this is always going to be your best one, hitting up your old contacts from the summer. And again, pitching them, saying, hey, you know, we offer this. I don't know if you know we offer this, but we offer indoor renos, we offer junk removal, Christmas lights, whatever. You just inform them. You let them know. You don't even have to pitch your old clients or your friends or family. You just tell them, hey, do you know anyone that would be looking for this in the winter? It's a bit slow right now, I'm looking for work, right? And I guarantee you get busy enough just from this. Okay, so hit up your contacts, your mom, your dad, your friends, your family, your old clients from the past season. You just let them know what you offer. It's like, most people assume that people just know what you offer. Like, I do landscaping in the summer, all right? As an example, we do sod, interlock, this and that, right? And then the client will need a fence done. And they'll come to me and they're like, you don't do fences, do you? And I'm like, yes, we do. And they're like, oh, really? And I'm like, yeah. And for me, I just assumed they would know we do fences if we do landscaping. But then it kind of clicked in my head, like, they're not actually like identical, right? I should probably let the client know, like, hey, we actually do like everything outdoors and a bunch of stuff indoors too. If you don't let people know what you're offering, they're never gonna know, right? So you gotta be very clear, hey, by the way, in the winter, we offer this, 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 and this, right? And then all of a sudden, you've just created a full-time income source for yourself in the winter. Okay, I'm cooking right now. Are you guys getting value? If you guys are getting value, sub, please. Subscribe, like, plus like. That would really help me out. We're trying to grow the channel here. So I'm giving away free value, and in exchange, all you have to do is click a button below the video. Please. All right, help a brother out. Snow removal is our next one, okay? You're surprised I put it this low on the list. Surprised I haven't mentioned it yet. Snow removal. If you live in a wintry country and snow is on the ground, you can plow snow, of course, right? You probably have a truck already if you're doing landscaping in the summer. So, truck and a plow. If you have a tractor, even better, so you don't destroy your truck, because you will put wear and tear on your truck. Truck and plow, okay, that's what's needed for this. Now, I didn't get into snow this year because I have a brand new truck and I don't want to destroy my new Ram 2500. So instead, what I do recommend you do, as it is a bit late in the season to be considering snow, most people bid snow removal back in August, September. They already line up their contracts, right? You can get some last minute contracts, but it's a lot more difficult. So I would recommend targeting shoveling specifically, not plowing, but shoveling, okay? So all the people who have contracts for their driveway, but the big companies don't want to spend time and money getting a guy to shovel their front walkway or whatever, you can be doing that. So you cover the shoveling and icing, de-icing, right? Salt, that's the term for it, salting. You cover the shoveling and salting for their walkways and their pathways to the front door and that sort of thing. You go door knock. That's probably the best way to do this, door knocking. You go door knock an entire neighborhood. You get yourself a concentrated area, right? You get a route. You get a dedicated route so you're not driving all over the city. You charge 25 bucks a snowfall, depending on the size of the pathway and that. And then maybe 35 if they want salting. So 35 per snowfall. Okay. And from that, just from door knocking in one little neighborhood, because what happens is a lot of these big companies, they have big equipment, tractors, plows, and this sort of thing. They don't want to be stopping to get out of the machine and shovel someone's front walkway or pathway to the backyard, right? That's very not profitable for them because they got a route to complete before the sun comes up, right? So they can't be getting out of their machines to do these little pathways. So oftentimes they'll just leave it to the homeowner, or they'll charge, ridiculous amounts to get it done. So you go, you pitch your services to everyone in a certain neighborhood, and you tell them you'll get their pathway, their sidewalk, their backyard, whatever they want done for between 25 and 35 bucks a snowfall. Get a couple friends to help you, get a couple shovels, get some salt, and you'll be good. You'll be golden. The best ways to sell this, like I said, door knocking, community groups again. Let people know. If you have like a Facebook group of your neighborhood or next door, I'd get in there. And then finally, I'd do flyers. Flyers would be really good for this. I've done flyers for this before. Have your pricing right on the flyer, and then you weed out any tire kickers. People just call you, be like, yep, I want like the $25 per snowfall, or yep, I want the $35 a snowfall with salting. Boom, book them in. Ideally, you get a bunch of houses like in one small area, one neighborhood, so that you just go boom, 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 next house, next house, next house, and then you're making a good couple $100 per snowfall. All right, so that's what I'd recommend if you're too late to the actual snow removal game, right? Like the snow plows and the truck and plow, the snow blowing. If you're too late to that kind of thing, I would recommend this route where you do the shoveling and icing, because this one's a lot less barrier to entry. It's also a lot less liability, right? Doing big commercial lots or something like that, where you can get into big trouble if there's any, slips or falls. You definitely still need insurance, by the way. I'm not saying you don't need insurance for shoveling and de-icing walkways, but you know, at least you're not gonna break someone's garage door with a big plow or something. It's a lot less risky in that regard. So snow removal, highly recommended, but also not my favorite. The last thing I'm gonna put you guys on is, my wife's actually doing this right now as we speak. Indoor cleaning for Airbnbs and rental properties and people's houses. Okay, indoor cleaning. Very simple, it's just your labor and a couple cleaning chemicals, all right? You show up, you got your spray bottle, your rubber gloves, your towel, you're ready to go. You clean someone's house, you clean someone's Airbnb for the next guests, you clean someone's rental property for the tenants. You do it weekly, okay? Or bi-weekly. You get them on a contract, you get them on a repeated cycle, because places always need cleaning. This can be really good for recurring revenue in the winter. I've done it, it works. However, I will say you need to make a way for you to stand out, because this is a very commoditized service, right? Anyone can clean the floor, anyone can clean a countertop, right? So you need to stand out. So going back to the winter promo, guys, I can't spell today. I'm too excited to drop this video and give you guys the sauce. You gotta stand out in some way, right? So you gotta drop some sort of winter promo. It doesn't have to be a discount, it can be a deal, like, you know, this is just off the top of my head, but we'll like steam the carpets, you know, if you book with us this winter. Or we'll, you know, you'll go the extra mile in some way. It doesn't have to be a pay cut, just something to differentiate yourself, okay? Because indoor cleaning is very commoditized. It's very, anyone can do it, okay? So a winter promo of sorts, you're gonna get leads, again, like anything else, Facebook ads, community groups, flyers, and that sort of thing. You could also reach out. So you could reach out to Airbnbs, outreach, right? You can message people on Airbnb and ask if they need cleaning. This is probably a more saturated method, but you can do it. But yeah, guys, the last thing I'll leave you with is just like odd jobs, odd handyman work. Okay, so this could be, you know, anything from changing a light bulb to changing tires, you know. In the winter, sometimes you can't afford to be picky, right? Our objective is just to make it through the winter, cover overhead, and make a little bit extra, right? So you can't be too picky with the work. Odd handyman work, you post in some Facebook groups, okay? Facebook groups, Nextdoor, any sort of, you know, community bulletin, stuff like that. You post that you're a handyman, bit slow for you in the winter, need some extra work, willing to do, you know, all kinds of things. You list your skills in the ad. You got your ad right here. Ad, you tell them you do, let's say like carpentry, you do window cleaning, you do, I don't know, like small repairs, you know? You just list out all your services, and people are gonna hit you up for anything, right? I've posted ads like this years ago now in community groups, and I've gotten people asking me to like walk their dog, you know, or like move a fridge somewhere, and I'll do it, right? Like, why not? You don't get to be picky in winter when your main hustle is on the low. You just need money coming in, right? So I walked people's dogs in the winter, right? I've dog sitted, I've done the indoor cleaning, I've done installing small shelves, building IKEA furniture. That's another one. Furniture assembling, right? Furniture. There's all kinds of things that people will get you to do just for cash, right? So this kind of thing can definitely work. So guys, bunch of different stuff there. Hopefully you got value. Hopefully you make it through the winter, and not just make it through, but you actually make a whole bunch of money. I would be super hyped for you. If you like this video, you can subscribe, you can like, it would really help me out, helps me, encourages me to make more of these videos. So if you found value, let me know. Let me know what you guys want to see me cover next. But I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.